can ashwagandha really cut your anxiety, reduce your stress, and boost your strength? Or is it all just hype? I've heard the claims, life changer, testosterone through the roof, deep restful sleep. So I tested KSM-66 ashwagandha for 30 days, tracking my sleep, anxiety levels, and my workouts to see what I felt. So is ashwagandha worth trying for yourself? Let's find out. The reason I decided to try ashwagandha for 30 days is simple. My training had hit a wall. I'd sometimes wake up in the night, heart racing, thoughts spiraling about work deadlines. I'd grab my phone and check my emails at 3 a.m. Absolutely terrible, I know. And the worst part, the constant background anxiety was affecting my relationships. I noticed I was a lot more snappy and short on patience at times. My sleep hadn't been where it should be either. At most, I'd been getting maybe 5 hours a night, which isn't good at all. It sounds like a mess, I know, but that's why I thought maybe I should try ashwagandha. All I knew is that it specifically targets stress management along with physical performance. I decided on tablets containing KSM-66 extract. So I took 600 milligrams per day, splitting the dose in half. 300 milligrams in the morning and 300 milligrams in the late afternoon for the full 30 days. To eliminate any variables, I wasn't taking any other supplements designed to increase energy. No stimulants, no caffeine throughout the whole experiment. I kept a daily journal recording my anxiety levels on a 1 to 10 scale. I used the Sleep Cycle app to monitor my sleep patterns and documented my performance on key lifts like squats and pull-ups. Another benchmark I decided was to do 5 sets of 10 squats at 70 kilograms with 30 to 45 seconds rest between each set. A good basic move to tell if I felt any difference in strength or stress without getting too technical. The first few days were honestly underwhelming. I didn't notice any immediate changes, which wasn't surprising since most adaptogens take time to build up in your system. I was actually starting to wonder if I'd feel anything at all, or if my review was going to be a completely uneventful one. But by day 5, something interesting happened. I started falling asleep much easier. Usually, I would struggle to fall asleep. I would lay awake thinking about everything that happened throughout the day, or what I'm going to do the next day. I was falling asleep really quickly. I was certain that this was the ashwagandha having an effect. I began to wonder what else might change as I continued taking it. I needed more time to see if the benefits would extend beyond sleep. During the second week, things began shifting more dramatically. My afternoon energy crashes started feeling different. Instead of hitting a complete wall at 3 p.m, I felt significantly less tired. Even on days when I skipped lunch, I still had energy. I noticed between sets I was ready to go for the next set sooner than usual. My first attempt at 100 pull-ups in less than 20 minutes went well. I managed to do it in 18 minutes. My monitor showed consistently lower numbers during both exercises, down from around 170 to 150 beats per minute after pull-ups. When it comes to sleep, the improvements actually continued. I was still going out like a light, which I was happy about. My days of listening to podcasts to help me fall asleep looks like they were over, and I wasn't waking up randomly at 3 a.m. anymore. Good stuff. By the end of week 2, I was honestly impressed. The changes weren't astronomical, but they were definitely real. Improved sleep, better workout recovery, and slightly lower heart rates during exercise. Things were looking promising, but that's when things started to get interesting. Now let's look at week 3. This is where this ashwagandha test took an unexpected turn. Around day 17, something strange started happening. Remember how I mentioned my sleep had improved dramatically? Well, suddenly I began having extremely vivid and intense dreams. Nothing like I had ever experienced before. These continued for 4 solid days. I hated it. They weren't all equally intense, but some were so vivid that they actually started waking me up at weird hours of the night, which of course affected my sleep quality. I did consider cutting the experiment short, but the fact that the ashwagandha was clearly having a positive effect on my stress and anxiety levels, it kept me going. The second unexpected effect was a strange morning sleepiness. Even though my sleeping time had remained the same, and it might be worth mentioning that I don't use an alarm to wake up, when I did wake up, I sometimes still felt unusually sleepy, as if I'd stayed up really late the night before or had taken a sleeping tablet. I started drinking a glass of warm water first thing in the morning after brushing my teeth, and the feeling stopped. Maybe it was a hydration issue. I couldn't remember the last time I struggled to fall asleep or had one of those moments where negative thoughts just wouldn't stop racing through my mind before bed. Besides these unexpected events, I noticed something else. I felt significantly more calm than usual in the mornings. Mornings are typically when my mind is racing the most and I'm itching to open up my laptop and start work, but I found myself much more relaxed. I think my usual morning impulse to immediately begin working could actually be an anxious response, and this might be the calming effect of ashwagandha at work. I managed to get my 100 pull-ups down to 17 minutes, mission nearly accomplished, significant progress that I was actually happy to see. Heart rate was the same as the week before too. I felt a lot more zen. It was a really nice feeling. My anxiety levels for work tasks and social situations definitely improved too. There were a few high anxiety situations in week 3 that I handled much differently than I think I would have before. The change wasn't so much in the moment itself, but in the aftermath, when the stressful situation is going through your head and you're making sense of it all. You know, for instance, if you have an argument with someone and afterwards you're thinking of all the things you could have said in that moment or in that argument. Well, I noticed I wasn't having those kinds of thoughts. In the final week, the weird dreams actually stopped, which I was really happy about. My sleep quality remained excellent, a solid 8 to 9 hours each night, and I was finding it very easy to fall asleep. This was probably the most consistent effect throughout the whole experiment. In my final 100 pull-up challenge attempt, I finished in 16 minutes and 32 seconds, which I'm actually really happy with. I will be continuing this challenge even after this experiment to try and get it down to 15 minutes or less. Make sure you follow me on Instagram to see if I manage it. Now for the squat challenge, my heart rate continued to show lower numbers than usual. I don't think my performance improvements were solely due to the ashwagandha, but I definitely felt more motivated to do these challenging workouts because I had better sleep the night before. I'd say the most significant ongoing benefit was definitely my sleep quality and how I felt after waking up. That refreshed feeling after a genuinely good night's sleep is something I had almost forgotten about, and getting it back consistently was awesome. So let's look at the final numbers after 30 days. My sleep quality went from a fragmented 4 to 5 hours to a consistent 8 to 9 solid hours. The 100 pull-up challenge went from 30 minutes down to 16 minutes 32. I will be continuing this though. My heart rate during workouts was consistently 5 to 10 BPM lower. When I look at these results, the most significant benefit for me was definitely the sleep improvement. The workout performance enhancement was real, but not as dramatic as some influencers had me believe. I genuinely feel like ashwagandha helped me relax more, which then meant my workouts the next day were better as a result of improved recovery. It kind of creates this positive feedback loop where better sleep leads to better workout, which leads to better sleep, and on it goes. But I think it's something that's often overlooked. The impact on my anxiety levels was also significant. I still experience anxiety, that's just part of being a human, but my reaction in stressful situations I feel improved noticeably. Overall, I felt a lot calmer. I even started reading more before bed, something I used to do before but I'd given up on it. This experiment actually inspired me to invest more time into doing things that calm you down and help you focus on other things, rather than just thinking about problems or things that you wish you'd done differently. So after my 30 days with ashwagandha, would I recommend it? I would recommend it if you're considering trying ashwagandha yourself. Here are my recommendations. Make sure you look for KSM 66 extract. It's standardized and well researched. I will link to the product I bought in the description if you need it. Start with a moderate dose of 300 to 600 milligrams daily. Be patient. It was about 5 days before I noticed any sleep improvements. Make sure you stay well hydrated while you're taking it. So who would benefit from ashwagandha? I think the people who would benefit most from ashwagandha are those with high stress daily lives. Someone in a fast-paced job, parents raising teenagers, or someone lifting heavy weights regularly who needs help with recovery. If you're looking for something that directly boosts strength and performance in the gym, there are other supplements that might be more effective specifically for that purpose. Ashwagandha seems to work more indirectly. It improves your recovery and reduces stress, which then allows you to perform better. But check out this video where I tried a supplement that helped me a lot more with strength and energy. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and as usual, I'll see you on the next one.